Welcome, Cancer, to your in-depth monthly horoscope for February 2024 for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you a brief overview of what to expect, but please stay with me. I will explore in much greater detail all the ins and outs particularly relevant to your sign. Now we have to be really conscious of your ruler, the moon. So we have a new moon on the 9th in a part of your situation which is very much to do with where you're most invested. That can be around a person, people, an interest, finances, but it does clash with Uranus in a very free-spirited and noble part of your situation. I need to explore the implications of that with you. We also have a full moon on the 24th, which is in your third house of everyday communications. The Sun on the other side of the heavens is very close to the strict energies of Saturn. What's the implications with that too? Please stay with me for more. You can ascend above this zodiac broadcast and understand the power of more serious astrology. If you give me 3 pieces of your personal birth data, of time, date and place, or date and place if you don't know your time, I can produce for you your life roadmap report, your character analysis. This is the foundation for all of our interactions in our lives. We're not totally ruled by it. We can work with it and evolve, but understanding it gives us so many insights to the patterns that have played out in our life so far. Also, you can get your 12-month forecast based on the moving planets in the sky and how they interact with your unique blueprint. Also, if you order with the link below now, you can get 30% off, but you also get my Zodiac, Love, Chinese and Indian Year 2024 booklets, totally free of charge. Please see the link below for more. So as this month begins, Cancer, there is 3 important and influential influences still in your sector of relating. But because the Sun and Pluto have dived deep into your 8th house, this could see you asking some important questions. But when it comes to your professional relationships, a super link between the Sun and Chiron on the 5th could actually give you a lot of an illumination in terms of understanding what's expected of you. But also on the 5th, Mercury makes way from the sign of Capricorn and joins up with Pluto in your 8th house. This is an incredibly psychological combination. If you really want to work something out, particularly in terms of understanding what someone means. So if you've been hearing someone's point of view recently, or you've been attracted to someone, or someone's making some kind of proposal to you, rather than just hearing the words, you can understand by thinking carefully exactly what their meaning is. So it can see you dive in a very deep and penetrative way into that subtext of what is really meant. But on the 9th, we have that new moon, which I mentioned before. The Sun joined by Mercury, and of course also with Pluto in Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign which has a reputation for being forward thinking, and here you may be forward thinking about your shared resources. If you're more entrepreneurial or you want to start your own business, you're feeling enterprising, then this new moon gives you a great platform. But in a relationship context, the 7th house is where you're having the conversation, the 8th house is where you decide to really make the commitment or potentially break free. And because Uranus is squaring up the position of the moon and the Sun, that does bring a little bit more of a restless energy to bear. Now, Uranus, for the last 5 years, full time, has been in your sector of friendships, but also your future plans. And it may not necessarily have been a straight line. You may have found yourself restless, even a little bit changeable about exactly what you want. But one of the best ways to test out any future relationship or business involvement is whether you think it will survive the test of time. So that more restless part of your nature that has been more prevalent if you really feel that that's not so much of an issue, you will know that this can be a very positive investment or involvement. Now on the 13th, Mars, the planet of drive and passion, moves to join with Pluto, replacing Mercury in the 8th house. Now I've got to say this is one of the hottest combinations in astrology when it comes to passion and desire. And of course the 14th is Valentine's Day. If you're fortunate enough to be in a loving, affectionate and caring relationship, it will be a great chance to reignite the passion between you and yours. But also, because there's such a lot of publicity about Valentine's Day, I think it tends to obscure the fact that not everyone wants to be in a relationship, or not everyone's necessarily in a happy relationship. So whatever your status, I think your desire to get what you need in the situation is definitely going to be stepped up. If you're someone, for example, who's a little bit reserved or shy, doesn't necessarily easily take that first step, what I feel this combination can do is give you more impetus in order to engage with someone else. But it may be nothing to do with romance. It could be very much to do with a financial opportunity, but that desire will be strong. Now, on the 16th, Venus joins up with Mars and Pluto in your 8th house. So very psychological set of influences at the heart of this month as far as relationships are concerned. It's either going to give you an incentive to really put that much extra investment into the tie you have, or the connections you have in business or friendships, or it could see you wanting to break free, because the 8th house can be a time of endings as well as a time of deep devotion. But you could see it could turn out to be quite the hot Valentine's. If you are someone who would like to meet somebody, it could be a person you encounter with a magnetic and intense personality, not necessarily somebody you instantly feel at ease with, but someone who just has an aura that actually can pull you in. Give it a chance, because you never know where this may go, because Venus and Mars are in a very passionate relationship for the last 2 weeks of this month. But if it is around the more practical domain that you're wanting to focus on, Venus can be about money and Mars can be about that energy to get what we want. It can be about, especially through the 8th house, the much more scorpionic desire of the energy of Mars. So the 8th house is really going to give you a lot of incentive to try to improve your financial lot. And if you are somebody who does really want to do better in terms of working for yourself, whether it's a hobby you want to convert into something much more in your everyday world, or it's where you want greater recognition for all the hard work and energy that you've been putting in a paid role, then certainly other people are going to become much more aware of your personal power and your personal drive. So by the 19th, the Sun makes its way into your sister water sign of Pisces. Great if you're in the mood to break out from all the intensity of the heart of this month. Now the Sun is followed by Mercury on the 23rd, but of course we do have Saturn in the sign of Pisces already, and Saturn is going to be applying to the Sun on the 28th exactly, but for the last 5 days of this month, and also for the last 3 days with Mercury. Now, because we have the full moon on the 24th and Saturn's quite close, about 4.5 degrees away from the position of the Sun, if you're thinking about a new mode of transport, then this could be a seminal moment where you get all the facts and figures and really get informed about exactly what's available. Equally, if you're needing to submit some written work, a proposal, some kind of contractual matter could also be discussed. And your ability to dive down into the detail, which has really been quite the theme this month, is really going to be enhanced. But just be aware that the person you're talking to may not see it the same as you. So it could turn into a little bit of an attritional situation, a clash of ideas. But it doesn't mean to say that you can't actually anticipate some of the points of view they may have, and that comes from good planning. And that's why anticipating Saturn's influence at the end of this month will be so useful to you. But if you are wanting to plan a vacation, apply for a course of higher education or a job, the chances are Saturn is really going to help you to structure things in a very positive way. You're really going to have everything sliced up, compartmentalized and presented just so. It's also a great time towards the end of this month to give people the benefit of your great wisdom. Or you could find yourself consulting with an architect, an accountant, perhaps a financial advisor, perhaps a solicitor or even a counsellor.